Hello, good afternoon. I would like to call the January 15th meeting for the Select Committee on Special Education to order. We're going to start the meeting with remarks by chairs. I'm going to recognize my co-chair, Senator Gutkar Wilcox, to start.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sujata Gadkar Wilcox, the new elected senator in the 22nd district, which is covers Bridgeport, Trumbull, and Monroe. I'm very much looking forward to working with this committee. I'm an educator myself, teach a faculty member at Quinnipiac University, and this is this is maybe one of the kinds of issues that are uniquely impacts every single district in different ways, but in equally important ways. And so I look forward in this committee for us to think about those immediate short-term funding needs, which are really crippling our local school budgets, and then the long-term structural solutions to making this entire process work better. You know, after having spoken with superintendents, boards of education, teachers, parents, you know, we have an obligation to do what's best for our students. And I'm so glad that we have this committee now where we can really focus on that. And I really look forward to working collaboratively in a bipartisan way to make sure that all these needs are met. So look forward to being part of here my first week, almost done. So look forward to working together with this committee.
Thank you. Next, my wonderful ranking chair, Representative Corpus.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to all the committee members for being here. I'm honored to be ranking member for this important committee. I'm Tina Corpus, newly elected from the 149th District, serving Greenwich and Stamford. I believe that education is one of the non-negotiable functions of government, and we must provide a quality education for all of our children. I applaud what I've seen so far as the spirit of this committee, which is questioning and open-minded. First, to learn so we can make the best policy decisions possible. My questions are, what is special education? What's its definition? Let's understand why diagnoses have increased so much in recent years. Are we addressing the root causes? How are we filling the need today? Who is paying? Do students and parents feel that it's working? How do we measure success? Are we achieving it? And if not, why not? And let's fix it. Connecticut should be providing our children in our general education and special education, the best possible education in the United States. I look forward to learning from each of you and working with each of you to achieve that goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Our ranking senator, Senator Kissel, I believe, is on Zoom.
Yes. Can you guys hear me down in Hartford?
Yes.
All right. Well, I just want to say that I'm delighted to be a part of this new Select Committee on Special Education. Madam Chair, I have worked with you in the past. I've been around the building for a while. I'm state senator from North Central Connecticut here in Enfield, but represent several towns: Enfield, Somers, Suffield, Windsor, Windsor Locks, East Granby, Granby, and Ellington. All are part of those towns. In some of my communities, I have seen an explosion of the number of young people determined to be special needs students. I'm wondering why that is the case. Has there been a change in the makeup of the population of Connecticut and our student population? I understand that money is often an issue with local boards and town councils and various municipalities, but this goes deeper than that, and I need to get my arms around this and understand it as much as humanly possible. So I'm just really delighted to be a part of this brand new committee and to serve with you wonderful folks. And I just hope to learn from this experience so I can help fashion some solutions for our municipalities and the moms and dads and other guardians that have such a great concern over their young people who are students in our education system. Thank you.
Thank you. Briefly about myself, I'm a special education teacher. And so as you can imagine, special education is very close to my heart and the work that I do. But I've also served on my Board of Education in the town of Windsor for 6 years, where I learned a lot about school funding. And so I'm glad that all caucuses here have decided to really take a hard look at what's going on with our special education system and different ways to address it. So I'm excited to lead this effort and to have a great committee of folks that are also just as dedicated. I'd like to recognize the vice chairs to say a few words, and then I'm going to allow committee members to just introduce themselves. So Representative Poulos, and then we'll go to Senator Austin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is State Representative Chris Poulos. I represent the town of Southington. For the last 2 mornings, I got up, I drove to Reading, Connecticut, where I'm a high school teacher. I administered final exams to many students, some of which are students with special needs. I've taught for 25 years, and I'm very intimate with the whole range of learners and the system of special education that exists in our public schools. I can say this, there's a lot of great things about the system of special education in our schools, but we are also faced with a lot of challenges to that system. I'm looking forward to bringing a practitioner's perspective to this work of this committee. I think we owe it to our families, we owe it to our kids to get this right, and we owe it to our municipalities as well to make this tangible and affordable. And so I look forward to the good work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Kathy Austin. I represent the 19th District, and I am not going to talk hardly at all, which is amazing in and of itself. I think that I bring the financial aspect of this, and that's all I think that we have to focus on, because if we can't afford it, it doesn't matter the policy that we pass. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to allow for members to do brief introductions. I ask that you keep your remarks under 30 seconds so we get to our business. We'll start with folks that are in the room, starting on this side with Representative Santiago, and go down, and then we'll move to those that are online.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hilda Santiago, State Rep from the 84th, Meriden. I've been involved with special ed for a very long time, so I hope to bring a perspective as a mother and an advocate of a special needs child, and open-minded to look into which ways we can improve the special education in the state of Connecticut. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Wielander. I represent the 114th District, which is Orange, Derby, Woodbridge, and Hampden. I am honored to be on this committee. This is something that is near and dear to my heart, and I was also on the Orange Board of Ed for 4 years, and this is something that our district is uniquely challenged with at times. And so I'm just really, really thrilled to be focusing on this concern and having really robust discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Representative Susan Johnson from the 49th House District, which includes the whole town of Windham. And I'm really honored and pleased to be here on this committee because Wyndham is one of the towns that has so many children in poverty, so many children who are homeless, so many children who are suffering from PTSD, from homelessness, and they are part of the mix in our education system in Wyndham. And we need to be able to address their special needs and the special needs of students that include other types of issues with processing with dyslexia and those kinds of things as well. So we're the poorest district in the state and very small, and we do a great deal for our surrounding communities, and we want to be recognized for that. And I want to make sure that we take care of the special needs students at all the towns all throughout the state of Connecticut. So I really appreciate being here.
Thank you, Representative Belinsky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mitch Polinsky, I represent Newtown and Sandy Hook. I am here with a profound interest to be sure that the original form of equity in education, which is taking care of our children who learn differently, as well as our mainstream students, never have the opportunity to fall behind. There are science-based, evidence-based working programs that need to be standardized and rolled through the entire state of Connecticut so that no child is left behind, ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm State Senator Eric Berthel, representing the 32nd District. I'm also the ranking Senate Republican on the Education Committee. I echo just about everything that's already been said, but I'm going to put an exclamation point on what Senator Austin said with respect to affordability. I think that as we continue to ignore systemic issues that affect the things that we buy and pay for and provide as services, we find ourselves continuing to spend more money without understanding really why we're spending more money. And I think that's incumbent upon all of us. And having served as the ranking on appropriations in the past, it's a pretty heavy lift. But this is a good committee. I'm proud to be part of a historic select committee here in the legislature, and I think we can do good things. But we have to remain cognizant of cost, as it is the biggest driver. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Representative Leslie Zupkis. I serve the 89th District of Prospect, Bethany, part of Cheshire, and part of Waterbury. I am the House Ranking Member on Education. I've also been involved working with people with intellectual and development disabilities for over 25 years. They have a very special place in my heart. I am thrilled to be on this committee. My biggest question is why special ed is so expensive, and I look forward to working together and trying to fix some of these huge issues. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have members online? Oh, I see. Senator Slapp, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, my name is Derek Slapp, State Senator for the 5th State Senate District, representing West Hartford, Farmington, Burlington, and Bloomfield. I'm very eager to work with everybody on this committee. I don't want to, repeat a lot of what's been said, and I apologize for my tardiness, but obviously super important issue. I live in a town, West Hartford, where we try to do the right thing and provide really top-notch services for families who need them. And I think the system that we have doesn't work because, we're really kind of a mecca for families in Greater Hartford, and I would say maybe one in the entire state, where people who need services, families, move to the town. And that's great, and we want to do the right thing, but the costs are crippling, and it's undermining our ability to provide for families, and as we all know, driving up property taxes as well. So I think we need to look at really, how we deal with this. So I'm glad that I'm going to be able to be a part of that conversation. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have members online?
Yes, we do.
Okay. If you can call their names so they can introduce themselves.
Rep. Nuccio.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Just want to echo what everybody's saying. I'm thrilled to be on this brand new special committee looking at special education in our state as a whole. I've been pretty vocal since I have been up here elected. This is my 5th year, and I have very repeatedly say, the state of Connecticut has a responsibility to provide a free and public education for everybody in the state. And looking at how we're funding special ed costs, the state's not really doing its part. And I'm very interested to understand how we're functioning, the programs that we're doing, the benefits to the kids, how this is helping them, how's it going to help with life goals, everything else, and working on really just kind of prioritizing understanding special education. I think we have to do so in a fiscally responsible lens, and we need to hold the state accountable for their part in this, right? As Senator Slapp said, this is a massive cost. It's the right thing to do, and it's also a massive cost to local property taxpayers. And we need to really, listen to the governor and say, how do we make Connecticut more affordable? And I think this is a good place to look for the state to kind of step up and be more of a partner. So I'm looking forward to the work that we're going to do on this committee. I am here 100% all in and can't wait to get something done. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have Representative Rader online. Okay, I'll come back if she'd like an opportunity later. We're going to move on to the next item. Oh, yes, sorry, thank you. I did want to allow our staff to introduce themselves, so I'll start with our clerk to introduce herself, and then move to nonpartisan staff that's sitting on my right side.
I'm Kira Smith. I'm the clerk for the Special Education Committee and the assistant clerk for the Energy and Technology Committee, and this is my first session.
Thank you. And I know we have nonpartisan staff here, so if we can just get some quick introductions.
Hi, I'm Christopher Cordima. I'm Legislative Commissioner's Office Attorney.
John Moran, Legislative Research, and I'm also assigned to the Education Committee, the other Education Committee.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on to item number 3 on our agenda. I am looking for a motion for a straight change of reference to the Education Committee for item number 1 on the agenda, House Bill 5001, an act concerning the quality and delivery of special education services in Connecticut. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Yes, Representative Zupkis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question. I guess my first question is, this committee, are we going to be putting bills on the floor? Is everything going to be referenced to education? I'm just trying to understand kind of the process of this committee first. That's my first question. Then I have one other question.
Okay, so in regards to our process, our bills will JF to the Education Committee.
To all the work we do, then it will just go straight to education.
Correct.
Okay, my second question is for, so for 5001, the work we do, will that go into 5001? If so, why are we referring it? Wouldn't it stay here and we would put the work into it here?
So the contents of what we will develop will go into the bills that we will raise in the next agenda item, which will then be referred to education and go into 5001 and SB1.
So the Education Committee, which I sit on, is to take the bills from here and put them in one bill, one big bill.
Into 2 bills, 5001 and SB1.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Yes, Senator Berthel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just as a, I guess more of a procedural and maybe I just need to refresh my tired brain today, but when we JF these bills to the Education Committee, and maybe the good vice chair from Appropriations can respond, will they have a fiscal note when they go from here to the Education Committee? I guess, Madam Chair, through you to Senator Austin.
Senator Austin.
So I was already going to raise a point of procedural efforts. We have a motion on the floor and a second. I'd rather answer this under a more global thing and vote this over to education and then come back to that if you don't mind, because I think that we're
Yeah, that's fine.
muddying
Yeah,
That's
the
fine.
waters.
Okay, thank you. I'll
Thank you.
ask my question outside of the motion.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for a roll call vote on this.
I'm sorry, I have a question online.
Sorry. Yes.
No,
Representative-
sorry, that's okay. I know it's difficult. I've been there, but I have other things I had to do today too. So, my question is, in the past, I've worked on 5001 before, and I'll be working on 5001 this year. I guess my question is, and this could be, again, maybe explained procedurally, but the process has always been, the team that works on 5001, and I'm sure it's the same in the Senate with SB1, kind of really bats around the language, figures out what the final bill is going to look like. And after all of that is done, it would go to the Committee of Cognizance. My concern is we're changing venue here for 5001 with absolutely no language in it. There's nothing there. It's just a blank bill right now. So I don't know. I guess I'm not comfortable sending over just an open bill with nothing in it, especially if we're going to do the work to build 5001, right? If that's the special, the team of people for 5001, how does this function? And again, this is a new committee, so maybe it's growing pains. And when I worked on 5001 in the past, it's just been a team that worked on it, and then it went through the areas of cognizance. So if we could maybe kind of elaborate on that, I would really appreciate it.
Yep. I think the procedure is definitely new for the 5001 or any priority bill to be going through a committee as such. So I know that the SB1 currently is also in education, and the intention is to keep both bills together. So 5001, hence why 5001 is being referred back to education or referred to education. Yes. Senator.
And just to add to that, so my understanding too, again, as this is being put together, we want to keep the two bills together. SB1 is already with education, and that's why we'll be raising concepts, which then can later be put into SB1 and HB 5001. So that's why we're moving it over, just to sort of keep everything together, and then raising concepts ourselves, which can later go into those two bills.
So is the intent then that we're going to raise concepts of ideas that we want to work on in 5001? We're going to do the work in that. How is it then? Are those bills going to also then transfer over to 5001 to be combined? Because we're not going to be the one who's going to be drafting 5001 at that point, correct?
Yeah, I can't answer that yet. I can tell you that the work that this committee is doing is going to go into the bills that we're going to raise next, the concepts we're raising next, which will make up most of the 5001 and SB1.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. It's kind of like the old saying, it's as clear as mud. So, this is totally different. So, and it's a new committee, so maybe growing pains as we go, but thank you very much.
Yep, no worries. I understand it's a little, I guess, different than traditional process. So it's okay if folks still have questions. Are there any other questions? Yes, Representative Belinsky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to start with a confession. I'm confused. I'm accustomed to voting yay for blank bills that we draft, but not voting yay to advance or change the committee venue for a bill that does not have content and then say that it originated in the in the Special Education Committee. It calls to question, and I'm sure my wife will ask me this question tonight. Why do we have a select committee on special education if it rubber stamps a bill that doesn't exist and then leaves it to somebody else to populate it? I'm very, very, very confused and concerned enough to question whether I can vote for this. Can you make me more comfortable?
So I can just to answer one part of your question, the populating of the bill, the populating of the content of what will go into those bills is going to happen through this committee. So the number of the bill, HB 5001 and SB 1, will be in education, but the content of the bill is going to be developed in this committee.
Why would we not work the bill and then refer it, as opposed to approving something that we don't know for that change of reference? It doesn't seem to make any sense where it's an illusion.
That's what I can answer for you, and this is the process that is before us. The contents, like I said, the contents will be developed through this committee, then moved JF to education, and those contents would be then put into 5001 and SB 1.
Madam Chair?
I'm going to recognize Senator Good-Carl-Wilcox and then Senator Kissel.
I just wanted to add, I'm, of course, this is a new committee, and as we're working through this, but there are two committees then technically of subject matter cognizance over education. And that's the challenge here, is those two committees then have to figure out a way to work together on this. But we are the committee. That's why we're raising concepts. As far as I understand, that the work of this committee to decide what concepts will be in those bills or highlighted in those bills when it comes to the particular subject matter of special education within education will fall to this committee. But because there's a kind of dual cognizance here over subject matter, that's what we're figuring out. That's my understanding of it at this point. And so this is the process that has been worked out so far, to be able to recognize that both committees actually have, subject matter cognizance over this.
Thank you, Madam Co-Chair. So when the process was worked out, did it include any members of the minority party's leadership to formulate that procedure? Because we're still approving something and giving our okay to a piece of legislation that doesn't exist.
So,
Senator Austin.
thank you. For purposes of answering that question, and to apologize to Senator Berthel, because exactly what you were asking is the same thing that we're stuck in right now. That on rules, all four caucuses have a say on the rules. So they were involved in the rules. Now, I'm not saying everybody agreed to the rules, because I, like you, am not a part of those discussions. But all four caucuses were part of that discussion. And I think we're coming off the rails because we moved this over to education. Who cares? It's going to be over there. We have two more concepts right here that talk about, and we'll be talking about many things on special education. And quite frankly, the JF deadline for the select committee is a month later than the JF deadline for education. So there's a lot to work out here. But moving this over doesn't do anything, and we're debating something that we can each go back to our respective leaders and say, hey, listen, you put us in this position, and there's a lot of questions on what we're going to do. Can you give us insight on what your intention of having this committee was, so that we can then come back and maybe have a more robust conversation? This is just an organizational meeting to move one bill over to the Department of Education and bring up two concepts. And I don't know that this is the time for the debate that you are all talking about on all sides of the aisle. So I'm hopeful that in a couple minutes, we can vote on this, send this over to education. We can, if it's true that we can set up our own, we can have our own special education bill. And I don't know if it's going to go in 5001 or SB1. I don't know that any of us know that right now because we're not yet there. We don't even know what it is. There may be 10 bills on this and we vote on it in 10 increments. I don't know. Is it going to be referred to a PROPS? I'm assuming so. I don't know. But I'm going to answer or look at those questions later on. So I think that the questions that everybody's asking are asking it of people that were not in the rules discussion. And we're, opining on something that we really don't know about. So I would just say, organizational meeting, send it over. We can ask them to set up a couple of different bills. You can all put in bills and send them over here. We still got 2 days. And send them over here that might not say 5001, could say 5021, probably much higher than that by now. But, that way you can get your bill with a number on it to send over to education that they may or may not take because the chairs of education are not the chairs of this select committee. So we don't know what those chairs are going to do or what they're not going to do. And I don't want to sit here and say the content that we develop is going to be in an education bill. We don't know that yet. Senator Berthel will probably be the closest to, I don't know who else is the ranking member over there, but he's been on education for a long time and we'll be talking about it with them. Let's get this over to education. Let's vote on the next two and then bring back all of our questions and maybe have on the next agenda information on the setup of this particular committee so that we can get back from our respective leaders what it is. So I think we're all guessing right now. I don't know what Senator Looney said. I'm sure you don't know what Representative Candelara said, but we have to ask the question of our leaders, not of each other. Respectfully. Thank you.
I appreciate the insight, Senator.
Okay, thank you. I know Senator Kissel had
Yes.
his hand up.
Thank you, Chairman Khan. Yeah, I mean, I'll be very brief because I appreciate everything that was just stated by Senator Austin. In the prior dialogue, though, Representative Nuccio said that she's worked on 5001 before. My guess is, and I've been around for a while and I've served on various select committees, is because SB1 is over in education, just to keep parity, the House bill has to sort of be right by its side just to make sure everybody's happy. So that's my guess. So I'm going to be happy to support this, but from what I was trying to gather from the conversation, are there other things other than special education proposals going in this 5001? I guess I probably should know this over the years, but is that sort of like the omnibus education bill for everything? So what we vote on today is going to eventually be something that has a bunch of stuff above and beyond special education proposals?
I can't speak to, what would go into all of 5001. I am on education committee, but I'm not chairing that committee. But I can tell you that the concepts that we raise will be primarily all special education.
But 5001 is not exclusively for special education.
I can't answer that. I do not know right now.
I'll do a trust fall and I'll support it to move it along. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Representative Zupkis.
Thank you for the second time, and I'll be brief. I appreciate what everybody said and understand completely. I've been here long enough. But I will say today, I'm not going to support this just for the process, completely for the process, but I do look forward to some great things coming out of this committee.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion?
Hi, Rep. Nuccio. Yeah, again, I'm sorry for being online. I just kind of want to mirror what Leslie said, not for being obstinate, not for, being a stickler or anything. I'm just not comfortable moving something with absolutely no language in it, and just from prior experience. So obviously, I'm very supportive of 5001. I'll be directly working on it. This is weird. This is just a weird new process, and just for the sake of my own comfort on that, I'm not going to support that moving of it today, but I look forward to working with everybody to have a very substantial 5001.
Thank you, Representative Nucio. I will, seeing no further questions or discussion, I will ask for a roll call vote.
Representative Khan,
Representative Khan votes yes.
Senator Gadkar Wilcox,
Yes.
Rep Corpus,
No for the procedural considerations raised.
Senator Kissel,
I vote yes. Senator Kissel votes yes.
Representative Poulos,
Rep Poulos votes yes.
Senator Austin,
Senator Austin votes in the affirmative.
Representative Belinsky,
Representative Belinsky votes no to flag it for procedural concern.
Representative Johnson,
Representative Johnson votes yes.
Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio votes no for procedural concern.
Representative Rader, Representative Santiago,
Yes.
Representative Welander,
Representative Welander votes yes.
Representative Zupkis,
No.
Senator Berthel,
No.
Senator Slapp.
Senator Slapp votes yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, I am looking for a motion to raise items 1 and 2 under number 4. Concepts to raise an act concerning the provision of special education in Connecticut and an act concerning resources for special education. Is there?
So moved,
Vote
Madam Chair.
Johnson.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I will ask for a voice vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, seeing none, that will conclude our business for this afternoon.
Madam Chair.
Are we keeping the votes open, Madam Chair? I don't know if anybody didn't vote, so.
Yes, I was gonna, were you going to ask a question about that?
Yes,
Yes.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to see if we could follow up that
Yep.
from outside of the motion.
Yep, so I was just about to say it, and then you guys. So
Sorry
thank
about
you. But
that.
no, thank you, thank you. I was gonna ask that we recess this meeting. I will hold votes. I think we can hold votes open until 4 p.m. So we will, and then at that time, the meeting will be adjourned. So we will recess until then. That's what you were. Okay, all right, so before we recess, Senator Berthel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just as I had a little more time to think about this, I'll rephrase my question through you to Senator Austin regarding the process. But I think that there's probably a bunch of questions that collectively this committee would like to see answered perhaps for the next meeting. And I understand and I fully respect the fact that this is new. There were rules that were developed with likely none of us in the room. But I think it would be important and productive for the committee to be able at its next meeting to understand what all of those processes and policies are so that we don't end up going down all these rabbit holes that we went down to today. So with your indulgence, Madam Chair, I would suggest that at least from my thinking that you made the comment that all bills will be JF'd from this committee to the Education Committee. So I have a few questions that come up as a result of that policy, if we understand that to be factual. Prior to the JF, will committees, will bills in this committee have a public hearing? Okay, I think that's a good question. Prior to JF, will there be a fiscal note that is applied to the JFing to the Education Committee? And the question was raised, I think, by Senator Austin. The JF deadline for this committee is almost the same as appropriations. It's like the last week or so of the time that we can do this. So if we have bills that we're working here, that we have crafted, that we have put our energy into, that we've had a public hearing on, and we JF everything to the Education Committee, but we're past their deadline, then what's the point? Quite honestly. Why would we have any bill that goes past the education deadline if in fact we are JFing everything to education? I'm not asking for an answer today. I think we've discovered that it's perhaps a little bit unkind and unfair to us to ask you to provide answers to questions that you don't have, that you don't have the answers to. So I would respectfully ask that we get answers to those questions and perhaps open this up for other direct questions, Madam Chair. And thank you for the indulgence. I don't know if Senator Austin knows what the process is for what happens to a bill that's JF'd out of here directly to education. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think what would be a good idea is just to, at our next meeting, at the start of our next meeting, we can have some presentation of or briefing on what the process would be.
Great. Thank you
for
very much.
all of our
Thank you.
indulgence.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
That's fine. Is there any other questions, concerns regarding that topic? No. All right. So we will be in recess until 4 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my God.
Hi, Kira. Can you hear me? Kira, can you see me? Can I vote? Okay.
Are you ready to vote?
Can you read it to me, the one that was the roll call vote?
Everybody's name and phone number.
I have to jump into another meeting, so if you can. Kira, I'm going to come back because I have to go back into this meeting.
We're getting a weird echo.
Why? That's so strange. Let me check and see if I have anything else open.
We can hear you okay, though, if you just want to give us your vote for
I do.
5001.
Yes, let's just please get it done. Yeah, real quick.
Thank you.
Okay. I can't hear you now. Okay.
You're all set. Thank
Okay,
you.
now you're good. Okay. Oh, now you're muted again. I really have to go back into this other meeting, so can I just do the vote really quickly, please? Vera, I really have to go, so can I just
We're on
vote really
recess
quickly?
until 4.
Sorry?
We're on recess until 4.
I know, but I'd rather just do this now because I'm missing everything that they're reporting to me in there. So can I just do it right now? All right, you know what? I'm going to check back with you because I'm missing too much stuff in here. I'll check back with you. Just don't close it until you hear from me, okay? I- Can you let me know, am I voting now or am I coming back to you later? You can't hear me, can you? I'm going to have to come back, okay? I'm going to have to come back.
Hi, can you see
I'm
me?
so
okay?
sorry about that. We were trying.
Hold on, I gotta get the volume up on my laptop. Give me a second here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Oh, it's still low, but okay, fine. So I'm at my laptop, my desktop, so bear with me for a second. On my laptop, give me a second here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good enough. I mean,
Oh,
so
but-
can you
okay,
just,
fine.
I don't know why the volume is so
My
crappy on
laptop,
this
my
computer.
desktop.
Bear with me for a second. On my laptop, give me a second here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good enough. I mean,
Oh,
so
but-
can you
okay,
just,
fine.
I don't know why the volume is so crappy on
My desktop. Bear with me for a second.
what's happening.
I'm getting like two.
I know, this is so bizarre.
Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, oh, but- okay, fine. I don't know why the volume is so crappy.
I'm gonna do this on my phone. I don't know what's going on with my
Okay.
laptop. I'm gonna hang up here and do this on my phone. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's good enough. Okay,
Okay.
this is perfect. I'm so sorry about the Zoom. We were trying to hear you and we couldn't hear you, and then everyone
that's so
spoke, and it
weird.
was like echoing, and Allie and I were freaking out. We were like, don't know what to do.
Yeah, I just gave up because I was missing another meeting. So, okay, so it was just the one that had a roll call vote?
It's like echoing and yes. Out, we're like, don't know what to do.
Why is that repeating? I think it's on your end, not my end.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
the one that had a roll call vote. Like echoing and yes. Out, we're like, don't know what to do.
Why is that repeating? I think it's on your end, not my end.
Okay, so it was the one that had a roll call vote.
It's because I have the YouTube live going too, because I have to keep it going right now. So I have two lives going.
On your end, not my end. So it
You
was
don't
the
need to
one
do
that had
that.
a roll call vote.
It's because I have the YouTube live going too, because I have to keep it going. Oh, my
Right now, so I
clerk,
have two
the clerk I was
lives
with told me to keep it going until 4, because the vote's open until 4.
Need to do that.
Right, but you only have to keep the Zoom open, not YouTube. I don't know what YouTube you're doing. I don't know why.
Clerk I was with told me to keep it going until 4, because the vote's open until 4.
Can you turn the sound off on that? Right, but you only have to keep the Zoom open, not YouTube. I don't know what YouTube you're doing. I don't know why. All right. So now can you hear just me?
Yes.
Okay,
I
just
gotta pull up some- Yeah, sorry. But yeah, there was one tally, like the roll call vote, which we did.
okay. Can you
and
read
then-
that to me and I'll give you my vote on that? And then the
Yes.
others I voice voted on, so.
Yeah. So the roll call vote was proposed HB number 501, an act concerning the quality and delivery of special education services in Connecticut. This change of reference to go to the Education Committee.
So we're not even gonna have the bill in our committee.
It's going, so from my understanding, and I think there was so many questions about it today. The
Yeah.
understanding that I got is that we're gonna do all the content and the material, like the committee's gonna do all the content in the bill, and then it's gonna be sent to education, and it's gonna be HB 5001 and then SB 1
Yeah.
be over there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's
Okay.
the understanding, and then like LCO and all of them are gonna come to the next meeting and go through all this stuff, because questions upon questions, I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and listen to the meeting. So, right, it's a little different with this committee because typically you just act independently and then you bring it to the floor. But in
Yeah.
this case, we're basically gonna do all the work on this bill and then hand it over to education to bring out, as opposed to this committee bringing it out. Okay. Okay, I don't know why we're doing that, but that's fine. So can I ask as a consensus that it was a yes? I mean, I'm just, you can't, yeah, because I wasn't there. I would have
Yeah, it
heard
was
it if I
I was
was.
gonna say it was a bit like all over the place. It was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had some yeses and some nos. So it was,
Can I ask how my Democratic colleagues voted? Because I would have heard that.
Yes.
Yes, they were yeses. Okay, so then put me as a yes, please.
okay, perfect. I will put that down.
And you have me recorded for everything else, correct?
Yes, yeah, I'm just so sorry.
Okay.
We were, I don't know what was going on with it, but
Yeah.
gonna get it figured out for next time because I was crazy trying to hear something over Zoom and it definitely needs to be fixed so people can join over Zoom.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because this will happen again, unfortunately for you, because you'll have folks like me who are trying to do two at once.
Yeah,
or-
everyone's in committees, like it's like we need Zoom to work and so you guys can vote over Zoom. I
Yeah,
think also if
yeah.
it was just so noisy and everyone was still asking questions and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
No
gotta
worries.
do it,
That's why it's
so-
good to keep it open longer, because then once it calms down, you can go back to your desk and do this.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
this is much better. But yeah, I
Okay.
had it down, so.
All right, I'm all set. All right, well, thank you so much. And
Yes,
I will
of course.
hopefully be able to come in person to the next,
Yes.
she hasn't set a calendar yet?
No, I'm figuring out times with I'm figuring out times with Representative Khan and Senator Gadkar Wilcox. And once that is figured out, I'm going to send out an email to everybody with date,
Okay.
time, and location.
Okay, great. All right, I'll look for that. All right, thanks so much.
Of course, have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.